Since you guys are real high on the Lions' future, I want to talk about futures in the NFL.
Hey, okay, Mito, that's an upgrade to the segue from last week, bro.
Uh, so we're not really like, well, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be a heavy gambler, better, not really my thing anymore. We got, more important things to worry about, kids, life. But it's still fun to look at numbers, still fun to talk about it. So, and like Jose said last week, it's the off season. There's going to be things that we have to throw together, and we know you guys are going to listen regardless. If we talk about different, soups, you guys are going to be here. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for
We
real,
do.
definitely.
But
And Mito, sorry to cut you off real quick. I
yeah.
know that you don't bet like how you used to. I don't either, but it's still fun every once in a while to put a little
Oh, yeah,
parlay
100%.
together, a little future bet. So I
Bro,
think it's a good topic.
I've been sending Buddha get rich parlays, $5 to win 250,000.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get it.
Hey, those are the best, bro. It's a lotto, right? What's the difference between doing that and buying a Fantasy 5 ticket or something?
Yep.
It's the same thing.
You have a better
What was
chance
it?
with.
Like in the NBA playoffs, we all did like a 10-person where we all chipped in. I love
Yeah.
doing that. I think that's a lot of
Yeah,
fun. Just rooting
we'll
with
do
your
that
boys.
during football for sure.
100%.
Those are cool.
But just want to, whatever you guys think, what futures you like, what you think are master locks,
Okay.
we can talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Ryan, you want to kick it off?
Okay, I'm gonna do one that I like. And
Ryan, real quick before you jump into it, I'm sorry. Just
good.
if not everyone's a better, just explain what like a plus minus odd means. So if you're gonna talk about what your bet is and plus what, explain what that means. We
Okay,
just got to do
well-
it once, just so.
And you got to correct me if I'm wrong because I don't.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
Moran.
never
I think
gambled. Yeah,
Moran.
just go ahead and explain it, Moran. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So for example, if Ryan's taking a future that's plus 900, if you put $100 on it, you're gonna win 9.
100.
On the flip side, 900. On the flip side, if you're taking a minus 950, you got to bet $950 to win 100.
Makes sense.
And if you guys need a further explanation than that, please tune out.
No, don't tune out. Just reach out to us in the DMs and we'll help you out. This guy Moran is slacking.
When you run a podcast, you never tell someone to tune out.
I kid.
Bad idea. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go to one that I like, and I'm being a little bit of a homer.
Here we go.
But I truly believe this is a good take, and I might put some action on this myself because you're getting really good value.
Ryan's
Aiden?
using the words action now. Look
I
at this
know.
guy.
Look at that. Look at me. Aiden Hutchinson is plus 1,600 on FanDuel right now to win Defensive Player of the Year. Okay. Now, I started this as a gut feeling because Hutch is my guy, but I did a little more research to look into this because I think that year 3, especially, is when you look at defensive ends and taking that big jump to being in this conversation, right? So let's look at some of the past Defensive Player of the Year winners and their sack numbers the first 2 years in the league. Myles Garrett, 20 and a half. TJ Watt, 20. JJ Watt, 26. He was different. Nick Bosa, 24 and a half. He's also a little bit different. Aaron Donald, 20. Okay. So you're right in like those low 20s range, right?
Right.
Hutch's first 2 years in the league, 21 sacks. Right on par with those really good defensive ends that we've seen. Not to mention 4 interceptions, which is more than Sauce Gardner, by the way. But that doesn't hurt. Now, what Hutch
that
has
helps.
been missing, yeah, right. What Hutch has been missing this whole time is a good unit around him. So this is like the second part
He's
of
still
why,
missing it, but go ahead.
Well, hang on a second, because this is the second part of why I like this bet so much is because we have seen improvement in the depth chart on defensive line so far with DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport. A big improvement in the secondary, which should only help you get some more time to get to the quarterback. Because I swear, like, how many times have you guys been watching Lions games and you know that Hutch would have gotten there if the quarterback didn't get rid of the ball so quickly because a cornerback was already beat, right? So with a better secondary comes more time for Hutch to get there. So I think all these things considered, plus 1,600 is really, really good value, and a shot in the dark, if you will. But I think that's really good numbers to take.
I mean, you make a good point. On top of that, I mean, dude, he led the league in pressures last year. I know that doesn't mean a lot, but if the defensive line, the other help, can at least just make the quarterback take one step further to the right or to the left, you know what I mean? Just I think the sack numbers will go up this year. We'll see how much, or if that holds. But he's gotten better every year. So I mean,
Or even make
why
it so
not?
Hutch isn't being double teamed, right? Like Ali McNeil's, I think, also going to take another step forward this year. That should help. James Houston is going to be back. He's another pass rusher that could help take a guy or two off of Hutch. I just think a lot of things are going to fall in line. And honestly, the more I talk about it, I truly believe it's going to happen.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if he can put together a Defensive Player of the Year season. That would be crazy.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. By the way, I had a feeling because I seen that
really?
earlier today. But yeah,
It's good value, man. Plus 1,600. It's nice.
Yeah. absolutely. Jose, what say you?
So I'm gonna go a different direction for a future that I like.
Oh,
Future
Ryan,
bet.
Jose, my bad. I didn't
You're
mean to
good.
cut
You're
you
good.
off.
You're good. You're good.
You said the Hutch is a shot in the dark. What pick are you actually confident in, Ryan?
Well, no, I'll let Jose go first, and then we'll come back.
Yeah. We'll come back. We'll do our likes and then we'll do our locks. That sounds good. So NFL future prop that I like, and honestly, I might bet it as a lock. It's not my lock, but I'm pretty confident in this pick. Is Puka Nakua over 6.5 receiving touchdowns for the season. DraftKings has him as plus 110 to get 7 touchdowns. I think that is free money.
What did he have
Free.
last year?
10, I believe, or 9.
Okay.
We can look it up real quick. I didn't look up last year, but I seen enough last year to know that I know. Not only did I see enough from Puka Nakua, but I also know how Stafford treats receivers. Man, Stafford likes to force feed guys. I know Cooper Kupp's coming back healthy. I should say he was there last year, but he was never really healthy. But I've seen enough of Matthew Stafford to know that when he likes getting the guy the ball, which we saw with Puka last year, he's going to get him the ball. So I do believe 7 touchdowns should be easy.
For what it's worth, he had 6 last year.
6, okay. But 1,500 yards,
Yeah. Most rookie record.
right? Was it 1,500? Or
It
is
was
it
something like that.
1,300?
It was
It was
stupid.
something crazy. Either way, it's a lot. Yeah, I'm not privy to all the Rams
No,
stats.
it was
but
1486 for the
okay,
record.
so almost
Yeah.
1,500. Yeah, so I think 7 touchdowns should be easy for him. That's a future bet that I like. What about you, Maran? Which one you like?
If we're talking, so I'll do my pick that I think is gonna hit. I like it a lot. Actually, is Derrick Henry under 925 rush yards. 925 rush yards is what I said. Yeah, I know Ryan's shaking his head. The guy's older. Lamar is Lamar when it comes to that. Also, I seen a future for Jalen Hurts over under 550 rush yards. I think they paid Saquon to get him the ball. So if Jalen Hurts has more than 550 rush yards, I think the Eagles are a bad team, if that makes sense. So I like that under as well.
Okay.
And I'm only shaking my head because of the weight that Derrick Henry's name carries, and I know he's getting older, and I know it's a new team, but bro, the way I'm looking at it, he had almost 1,200 yards last year with a terrible Tennessee offense, and you have Todd Monken in Baltimore who runs a really good system. Like Lamar won MVP last year. The receivers are only getting better there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Baltimore is just totally like the bell cow running back system. Like we haven't seen that in a long time. Probably because there's been a lot of injuries, to be fair. But I'd just be surprised if he didn't get 1,000.
Yeah, I would go the opposite. Well, I would bet over 925. I mean, 925, I just did the math real quick. It's 54.5 yards a game. If Derrick Henry can't average 55 yards a game, I would be shocked. I know he's older, but barring injury, I mean, I have to think he gets you 1,000 yards, at least 1,000.
That's my thing. I think he's going to get hurt.
Yeah, maybe.
And I hate saying that about players, but that's why I love taking unders and futures, because 17 chances to get hurt is a lot. I'm not saying it happens all the time, obviously, but you got to factor in age, you got to factor in usage, and you got to factor in Baltimore's dire need to have a run game that's not Lamar. So I think they're going to overuse him when they don't need to. So that's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I just know that for the last few years, ever since really drafting J.K. Dobbins and it never worked out, they've been looking for a running back to be able to turn around and hand the ball off to and grind out games. That's the type of game that John Harbaugh wants to play. That's the type of team he likes to coach. You know, grind the game out, run the ball, hard-nosed defense, and then that opens up everything for Lamar. You know, the play action, the run pass option. Yeah, it's I think personally I would go over 925, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a superstitious person, Baltimore running backs have not been the healthiest in these past few years, so it's tough. And they did just lose Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins to free agency, so maybe they do want Derrick Henry to just take on that load. And if there's anyone in the league who can do that,
Whoa.
Derrick Henry's a cyborg, so I don't, we'll see.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Should I get to my lock?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
right.
I'm gonna be a homer.
No homer on this one. But shout out to the Cat Bros because I'm going on another Cat team. The Cincinnati Bengals plus 185 to win the AFC North. Okay, so we were just talking about the Ravens, and they're the favorites right now. I don't have the odds in front of me, but they are the favorites. Cincy's second, and Pittsburgh's right behind them. So you can make the argument for all three to win the division. However, Cincinnati has a healthy Joe Burrow coming back. Jamar Chase is healthy. Everyone's good heading into it. It's the team that made the Super Bowl the year prior when they all were healthy, right? And Baltimore at the same time lost key pieces on defense. You have Jadeveon Clowney left, Patrick Queen left. They lost Zeitler to the Lions on offense. I just don't think that. I think Cincy's a better team than these odds give them credit for, with a healthy Joe Burrow, and he's a famous Futures MVP pick, by the way. But even though he wouldn't be mine, I just think that they'll come back strong, and I'm kind of pulling for them to win the division. I root for Cincy,
So that's your lock, Cincy to win the AFC North.
yeah, that's my lock.
Oof. Nice.
That's impressive for a lock to be plus 195.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Very well done.
It is.
Well, I just think at the end of the day, like I go on the quarterback, right? I believe that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. I'd rather have Joe Burrow on my team.
1
If I wanna
million
win
times
games.
over.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
That's how I'm looking at it, and I'd definitely rather have him than Russell Wilson and Justin Fields on the other side. But also, I mean, for what it's worth, we got to talk about Cleveland too. Cleveland's no slouch; they made the playoffs last year, so I'd also rather have him over Deshaun Watson. But Cleveland's got a good squad too. That's just a great division, bro.
It is.
I
Well,
like how you massage Cleveland into the conversation.
Okay,
alrighty.
really ease them into it.
Yeah. My lock and kind of following suit, it's nowhere near the plus 195. It's a lock for a reason. They are what is it, the odds? Minus 240 on DraftKings, the Atlanta Falcons to win the division. We all three are on record saying we believe that's going to happen.
Yes.
And I just can't see them, or I'm sorry, not even win the division. I'm sorry. They're minus 240 to make the playoffs. That's the
I was
lock.
going to say, yeah, something sounded off.
Yeah,
I
it's
got you.
minus 240 to make the playoffs. So obviously, if they win the division, you make the playoffs. So they go hand in hand. I think that's a lock. I think it's easy money. Obviously, you got to put up $240 to win 100, but for me, that's a free $100.
Honestly, it's the same thing though, because I don't think they're making it as a wild card team anyway. That division is so bad,
Yeah, you either win the division or you're not.
right? So you might
making
as well
it.
take that.
There's not going to be. It's going to be hard for two teams to make the playoffs out of that division. I think.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes to the rest of the division too, right? Like, I feel like the rest of that division's in limbo. Like, who knows with the Saints? You know, the Bucks were a playoff team last year, but they lost Canales to Carolina, so that's a big hit.
Moran, what's your lock?
So my lock was Derrick Henry. Sorry if I didn't say that.
No, it's fine.
I want to give my long shot because I will be posting this. It's not even a long shot. Long shot, you guys are going to think it is. I'm posting my ticket on our Instagram when I get it. I'm taking Green Bay to win the Super Bowl, and I am putting 500 on it.
Wasn't he just making fun of me for being a homer?
Yes.
I'm not being a homer. That's what I'm doing.
That's being a homer, bro.
No, it's not.
Wait, what are the odds again?
Plus 1900. Yeah.
All right.
How confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
9.3.
Does that 0.7 belong to us, the Lions?
No.
Okay.
The 0.7 belongs to us not staying healthy.
Or San Fran. Green Bay's
No.
kryptonite.
Not worried about it. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, cool. We'll keep track of these, and then we'll see. We'll revisit them at the end of the year.
So
Oh,
I
that
have
we
a
will.
question for Mito, because Mito didn't take that bet last year with Green Bay, right? Because obviously Jordan Love's first year or whatever. But what has you feeling more confident going into this year than it was last year for the Packers?
Do I have to say it again? We have the best receiving core in football. Okay? That's first and foremost. Second of all, we're going to have a very improved defense, if not a top 10 defense.
Based
then-
on what, though? Based on what?
Based on the moves that we made and the person that we hired. Just
Meaning your DC?
correct.
The reason I'm asking
We
is
just-
because when me and Ryan said that 2 weeks ago, and you're like, based on what? Like, bro, because like
What do you mean? What do you mean?
when we were talking about how our secondary was going to be more improved, and you're like, based on what? That's why I'm asking.
Correct.
Based on what
Your-
your defense is going to be better.
Your secondary has not shown anything. When we lost Jair, Carrington Valentine, a 7th round pick, balled out. He showed it. We got Xavier McKinney. Our question mark on our secondary right now is Javon Bullard. He's got national championship experience.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything. You have a new
But-
defensive
But we have draft
coordinator.
picks too that we
Right.
can say that.
Correct, but you guys have a lot more questions and ifs than we do.
I don't agree with that.
That's fine.
I don't agree with
I
that.
mean-
You have a new
I mean-
defensive coordinator. You have
Correct.
new players coming into a new system. Okay, so it's the same.
What
It's
new-
like the same
what-
thing.
What new players though?
The one you just named, the
McKin- yeah.
rookies, McKinney.
McKinney and Bullard.
Okay, those are at key positions are projected to be
Correct.
starters
but
for you.
But
So-
McKinney's an all-pro. I'm not worried about him.
and he's also coming off injury. So
I'm not worried about him.
I'm just saying this. We got to keep it a buck all the way around.
That's
though.
fine. But I more trust a guy that made Pro Bowls and balled in the NFL than a rookie. I'm not even we don't even need Bullard to play out of his mind. We just need to have him pick Brock Purdy right in the center of the field like Savage didn't do, and the reason why we didn't play the next game. That's all we need him to do. He savagely missed that ball somehow.
Yes.
Speaking of the Lions secondary, it sucks because I feel like the players in our secondary who did ball out last year with Brian Branch and Iffy and all those guys, like they kind of got overshadowed just by how bad our defense was overall. So I want to make sure those guys get their props too, because those are two young players that balled last year, and they will ball again this year with more help around them. What should be more help if you want to play that rookie game of we don't know what they are yet?